Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
A 16-year-old is dead after a truck hit him and kept him in a hospital for nearly a month.
Please watch out, be careful, make sure there's no kids around.
He was hit while walking to lunch, and now his mother is asking drivers to be more cautious.
And it is day 3 for the 3 ex-SAPD officers who killed a woman in 2023.
Was she physically aggressive to you at any point?
No, sir.
We got some body cam footage that's showing a new perspective of the moments that led up to Melissa Perez's death.
And a former UIW professor, Troy Mishler, sentenced to 30 years for child sex abuse material. What police found in his home, those details are coming up. And with that, we say good morning. Welcome into the Tuesday GMSA.
Yes, let's get right into it. It's 68 degrees outside. Meteorologist Sarah Spivey in the building. Sarah, we still don't got those cold temperatures coming our way.
Exactly. I'm calling the forecast this week a fall fail. Because even the hope for a cool front next weekend is starting to be diminished quite a bit. But let's get you through your day outside right now. Once again, a familiar sight. We are starting off in the 60s. Temperatures are in the low 60s, though, in New Braunfels. It's 73 in Del Rio, 76 in Eagle Pass, and today should look very similar to the last several days. We're going to be seeing temperatures climbing quickly under abundant sunshine. By noon, it'll be in the 80s. In the afternoon, 90 degrees with low humidity and quickly cooling tonight. So again, there are a few things to keep in mind. Temperatures this week, cool mornings, hot afternoons. At least the humidity will be low, so still pleasant. A dry heat for us. Yes, just like the desert, a dry heat. And unfortunately, again, fall fail. No cold air soon. The forecast is trending away from that cool front over the weekend. I'll be talking about the potential for a very small chance for rain, though, with that front coming up in just a bit. For now, let's go ahead and take a look at the roads. RJ, what's going on this morning?
All right, good morning, Sarah. Yes, first check of our traffic authority, and of course, we are expected to get all the kiddos back to school today, so a lot of folks also making their way back to work as well. But let's give you an update on some current conditions. This is going to be 410 East at Callahan Road. This is ongoing construction that's taking place on the near northwest side of town, so we'll continue to monitor that situation. Looks like traffic is moving along for the most part. We do have congestion already building. This is going to be southbound 35 right here at O'Connor Road, stretching a little bit further south to Thousand Oaks and Weedner as well. You're looking at about a 10-minute delay right now for all of our folks making their way basically from parts of Judson to O'Connor and again Thousand Oaks. And want to let some folks know there is a water main break that we've been monitoring over the past hour or so over here by Broadway and North Alamo Street, and this is actually where we find our Alex Gomez for us this morning to start things out for us in Drive Cam. Alex, what's the very latest out there for all of our folks making their way on Broadway?
Yeah, good morning, RJ. So the break itself is going to be on 9th Street in between Alamo and I-37. We already have crews on scene. Saws is already here, and a lot of that water that was here earlier about the past hour is slowly starting to drain. But just know that this road right here, 9th Street in between Alamo and I-37, is going to be closed until Saws completes their work, RJ.
Okay, thank you very much for that update. Alex Gomez with us with the very latest on this water main break overnight, guys.
All right, 5:03 now. A local family is grieving the loss of their 16-year-old son this morning. Jose Flores III was a student at John Jay High School and was hit by a truck outside the campus about a month ago. Now, this past weekend, he died in a hospital. His parents are remembering him for his heart and his humor. San Antonio police say the driver in this case is not facing any charges, but Jose's parents still want people to be cautious.
Please watch out, be careful, make sure there's no kids around. Because no family should have to go through this.
Jose's organs will be donated. His mom and dad said that he wanted to be a firefighter, and this is one way for him to still save lives.
All right, we're at day 3 of the murder trial of Melissa Perez. And as today, we have some new body camera footage that showed a struggle between Perez and 3 former San Antonio police officers. And again, this happened back in 2023. Officers Alfred Flores, Eliezer Alejandro, and Nathaniel Villalobos shot and killed Perez. Prosecutors argue that Perez was not a threat, but the defense says she was a danger to herself and others. They played a 911 call from Perez's neighbors the night of the shooting, who said, quote, she's being violent and has pliers in her hand. The first responding officer, Jesus Rojas, took to the stand, answering questions about his encounter with her.
Was she physically aggressive to you at any point?
No, sir.
Was there any mental health unit officers or personnel that you could have dispatched to that call?
No.
Sorry?
No, sir.
All right.
All three former officers on trial face up to life in prison if they're convicted. The testimony resumes this afternoon around 12:30. You can, of course, watch it live. We got it right here on KSAT Plus and KSAT.com.
Well, he used to teach at the University of the Incarnate Word, and now he's being sentenced to 30 years in prison for child porn possession. He is Troy Mishler. The Live Oak police say Mishler admitted to watching child pornography at an event in Nebraska in January of last year. Investigators say they found more than 500 depictions of child sex abuse material in his home. A UIW spokesperson confirmed to KSAT that Mishler taught animation and game design at the university for 4 years until he was fired back in January of 2024. On top of his prison sentence, he has to pay a $5,000 fine and register as a sex offender.
Okay, so for all of our parents out there, I want you to check that sex offender registry before you make that trick-or-treating plan. There are more names on that list this year because of Audrey's Law. That law expands the charges that would require sex offenders to register to include child grooming. And child grooming is when a predator builds a trusting relationship with the child or family, making it easier for future abuse. The law came about after 11-year-old Audrey Cunningham was kidnapped and killed last February by a family friend. Don Stephen McDougal pleaded down the charges of indecency with the child, so he didn't have to register as a sex offender. But now Audrey's Law closes that loophole.
Grooming goes hand in hand with child sexual abuse because most of the time when a child has been sexually abused, grooming has occurred before that physical act has then taken place.
Now, Audrey's family isn't stopping here. They want every state to pass this law. And in the meantime, any family who wants to understand the signs of grooming, you can go to the Child Safe website and do live webinars or go get the fact and information sheets. If you go to our website at KSAT.com, search Audrey's Law, you're going to find the link right there.
3 people were detained after shots rang out when a scooter and a car collided. This happened yesterday near Perrin Vital and Perrin Central. San Antonio police say the scooter's rider accused the car driver of nearly hitting them. The rider then called a family member who arrived and fired shots at the car's tire. No one was injured, but police are searching for video footage to piece together the incident.
5:08 this morning. Let's give you a look at some of your morning headlines. JP Morgan Chase making a big move to boost U.S. national security. They're investing $10 billion in defense and AI companies to protect our economy, especially with trade tensions rising with China. Over the next 10 years, they plan to help direct $1.5 trillion into businesses that are crucial for economic security. This comes right after China restricted exports of rare earth minerals, which are key for tech and defense. Well, doctors are getting a new tool to help figure out if someone may have Alzheimer's. The FDA just approved a blood test developed by Roche Diagnostics and Eli Lilly. It's aimed for adults 55 years and older who show signs of memory loss or thinking problems. The test looks for a protein to link to Alzheimer's. This is the second blood test the FDA has approved for this purpose, with another one that was approved just this past May. Okay, check this out. Look at your screen. Intense rains and flooding in Mexico have caused dozens of deaths and left many people missing, with tens of thousands of home damage across the country. The heavy rains came from Tropical Storm Raymond, which formed off the coast of Guerrero and also merged with the remnants of Hurricane Priscilla. Deaths have been reported in several states, including Veracruz, Hidalgo, Puebla, and Querétaro. Authorities are ramping up search and relief efforts to help those affected in some of those hardest hit areas.
All righty, we are potentially going to be seeing our driest October ever. Yes, you read that right. I'll have those details and continuing our fall fail in just a bit.
5:09 right now. San Antonio Startup Week is in full swing, and today there will be a competition with a big cash prize reward. How local entrepreneurs can get involved.
And we're days away before early voting starts, and one thing people might notice, Proposition B, the big Spurs Arena funding vote. And after the break, we're going to hear from a senator who wrote the bill and set it into motion. I think RJ has that conversation and more coming up.
Don't worry.
5:13, welcome back to Good Morning San Antonio. We're less than a week away from the start of early voting, and the decision that's received a lot of attention is, of course, the Spurs Arena funding vote. That would be Prop B. I spoke with the state senator who wrote the bill that basically started us down this road. Here's part of my conversation, my interview with State Senator Jose Menendez, and a look at how another Texas city used a similar bill to help pay for their brand new arena.
This is not about the Spurs. This is about us bringing new conventions, new events, new meetings to San Antonio.
Before there were any plans for a new Spurs Arena, there was a piece of legislation filed by State Senator Jose Menendez.
Fort Worth, Dallas, they're building something new. Houston is also doing something.
In 2023, Menendez wrote a bill to give San Antonio the ability to use state tourism and hotel dollars to reinvest into the city.
If we don't get in on this, we're going to be at a disadvantage.
The city of Fort Worth used millions from a similar bill to help build Dickies Arena. The city-owned arena has attracted high-profile concerts, basketball games, the U.S. Gymnastics Championships, and expanded their rodeo. How would you evaluate how that has worked out for that city?
If the people in Fort Worth thought it was a bad deal, they would have come back in 2025 and said, hey, can we renegotiate? They have not. You know what they've done? They've tried to expand.
Okay, so that was just a part of our conversation. Also broke down how other NBA cities have used public funds to build their arenas in recent years and how all of this compares with what the Spurs are trying to do. All of that will be part of our Spurs Arena special later on this evening at 6:30, where we answer everything that you need to know about Props A and B and how this will affect you down the road. Guys.
All right, RJ, thank you so much. San Antonio Startup Week, full swing right now, giving the business community a chance to grow and thrive in town.
It comes with plenty of chances for entrepreneurs of all ages to earn thousands of dollars in cash for their ideas. Our Devin Karp is live right now to tell us about a competition happening today with $25,000 on the line. Good morning, sir.
Hey, good morning, Ernie. It's a big number, and so far we've heard from entrepreneurs on both sides of the spectrum, whether they're professionals who have been doing this for years and years, or some are high school students, not even 17 years old, with thousands of dollars in seed money. Today is the chance that 5 teams of students over here at Trinity University are going to be able to compete in Stumberg with $25,000 on the line available for them. So this is a contest that's been here at Trinity now for 10 years going on, and we've heard different things from teams of students working on startups. They've been competing to get here to this level for Stumberg, a competition with $25,000 awarded to ideas, and 5 teams have made it to the final round here at Trinity. Those teams already were given $5,000 of seed money after making it to this final round. So not only are they going to be pitching out their ideas, they're going to be showing you how they've used the money that they've got. I had the chance to catch up with 2 of those teams practice pitching before the big day, who say their ideas are with the goal of solving everyday problems like this startup company, Divvy, who say that paying your friends back when going to the movies, going out for food, or splitting rent can be a lot easier than it is.
So we're hoping that it makes life easier for younger people, us college-age students up to our young adults. More and more people are living with roommates and living with people that they aren't related to, and having to split expenses, having to split groceries, anything like that. And Divvy is the right tool for that.
So they say that Divvy could work in a way that if you don't pay your friends back, well, other friends could see, really encouraging you to make sure you settle everything even. The Stumberg competition kicks off later today around 4:30 here on campus. It's free to attend, and they welcome everyone to come in and see the short pitches, which are going to be kicking off at 5 o'clock. And if you're curious with any of the other San Antonio Startup Week events that are going to be going on downtown near Geekdom or at the Central Library, you can go on to KSAT.com. That's where we've got the full schedule for you. Or if you want to see it easier on your phone, you can download the Whova app, WHOOVA, and that's got the schedule for you laid out in an easy way to see. For now, I'll send it back to y'all. Devin Karp, KSAT 12 News.
All right, Devin, thank you very much. 517 now. So to the east side, where local leaders are celebrating the opening of a new resource center for families in the East Central Independent School District. The United Way East Central ISD Family Resource Center, located inside Pecan Valley STEM Academy, offers free support and essentials like hygiene products through its family care closet. This is the second center United Way has opened in San Antonio, part of a bigger effort called the Driving Possibilities Initiative, with partners like DePelchin Children's Center and Texas A&M San Antonio.
Okay, let's take to update on the roads this morning and a quick check right here at the northwest side of town. 1604 at La Cantera Parkway. Traffic is starting to clear after some overnight construction. You see we still have one of the units out there on the scene, making sure that all of our drivers are safe, but good to go there. Also 410 at Callahan, by the way. That one has also cleared out. Let's take a look at some overnight construction, though, affecting our drivers on the west to far west sides of town. This is going to be all of our traffic from Potranco all the way up to 1604 on 151. So 151 going westbound. We are seeing some delays due to some overnight construction in this area. But let's check in with Alex Gomez right now for a check of things in Drive Cam. I believe my man Alex, he was at that water main break. He may be making his way to the northeast side. Alex?
Yeah, I'm making the trek to the northeast side right now, RJ. So I just passed Bamsey. I'm on I-35 northbound, and the east side so far has no issues. So I'll let you know what I see going to the northeast. But believe it or not, RJ, I have the heater on this morning in Drive Cam.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, Alex is a bit of a warm-blooded kind of guy. He does not like the cold, Sarah. So that does not surprise me that he's got that going.
That's awesome. I kind of just turn off the AC, not necessarily turn on the heat. But here is a look at the driest Octobers in San Antonio record. Just last year, we had our second driest October with only 1/100th of an inch of rain for the entire month. Back in 1952, we only had trace amount of rainfall, which is less than 1/100th of an inch. So far this October, we have seen nada, nothing, zero, zilch at the airport. That's where our official rain gauge is, and it is within the realm of possibility that we could continue to see very little to no rain in San Antonio for the remainder of October. As far as our rain chances go, Sunday there's a very small chance, 20% for an isolated shower, and again, that rain would have to fall at the airport to count for us. So the main update for you right now is that the heat high is going to remain in control, and the potential front that we were talking about on Sunday is going to be pretty weak. So high pressure system remains in control. There's some rain in the panhandle of Texas, and then a low pressure system is bringing some rain for California. This is that low pressure system that is eventually going to kick that heat high out of the way, at least a little bit. And as we look ahead into the future, unfortunately, this low is going to break apart, and a little smaller low is what's going to pull in some Pacific air. So not that cold Canadian air that we would need for a very frigid front. We're just going to get Pacific air in place. And as you can see in the Futurecast, as that front arrives Saturday night into Sunday, not much rain associated with it at all for us here in San Antonio. And what we'll really see as an impact is more drier air moving in from the desert. So that's the biggest impact for us. Otherwise, temperatures are going to be hot. It'll be 91 in San Antonio on Saturday, and on Sunday, we're not going to dip into the upper 80s at all. It's just going to be, again, a fall fail for us while the cooler air stays up to the north. We'll be running about 7 to 10 degrees above the average. The average high this time of year is 83. And again, as you can see, much hotter than that. All right, let's go ahead and take a look outside right now. It is nice and cool and comfortable for most of us in the 60s and even in the 50s. In Bernie, it's still in the 70s though, Port SA, Uvalde, and off to the west. As we take a look at your KSAT 12-hour forecast, looks similar? It should. By noon, it'll be 82. In the afternoon, we'll have low humidity when we're our hottest at 90 degrees at 4 or 5 o'clock. And then quickly cooling tonight as temperatures fall into the 70s by about 9 o'clock. So again, no major changes in our forecast for us. Mornings in the near 65, afternoons near 90, and then the adjustment to the forecast here is less of a rain chance on Sunday and not as potent as a front. It's going to be very, very weak. Hey, coming up in the next half hour, we're going to talk about how the morning lows are a lot warmer than they have been in the last couple of years.
Okay. Well, thank you, Sarah.
Okay, thank you.
5:22 right now, 68 outside.
All right, so support for Windows 10 ends today, but there are still options for those of you using it still. This and your latest tech headlines still ahead.
In today's Tech Bites, the end of support for Windows 10 users. Well, kind of. After today, users will no longer automatically receive important security updates. However, if you just can't let go of Windows 10, you can sign up for extended security updates to get 1 more year of support. Slack says its new chatbot will give every employee AI superpowers. Stay with me. It's called Slack Bot, and it's designed to help with project planning, finding files, and scheduling meetings. Slackbot is being tested right now, but is expected to be rolled out by the end of the year. And job postings are coming back to Facebook. The listings are returning to the platform after a 3-year hiatus. They can be found inside a tab on the Facebook Marketplace section. Only those 18 and older, though, need to apply. Those are your Tech Bites. I'm Stephanie Ramos. Have a great Tuesday.
All right, 526 now. Some good news for San Antonio families. University Health and Bexar County are bringing back their free drive-through flu shot events. This is the 6th year they've teamed up to make it easy for everyone to get protected. The flu shot event is open to adults and kids 6 months and older. You will need to register before you go. Each event runs from 8 a.m. until noon. The next one is on Saturday the 25th at Gustafson Stadium. For more information, just go to ksatcommunity.com.
Okay, we're looking at 526 right now, 68 outside. President Donald Trump returning from Egypt with a symbolic Middle East peace deal. But questions remain about how lasting it will be. And coming up on 5:30 on this Tuesday morning. Welcome to GMSA.
We were just talking about, I know it's preseason, but the Spurs look.
Hey, we're still unbeaten.
Good.
We'll take it. Wemby looks good.
Just saying. Just no.
We sure can take some cooler temperatures, too.
Oh, absolutely. I wish, right? But again, I think the theme this morning is I'm calling it a fall fail because it just is hard for me to see any cooling weather. We've had to kind of backtrack on that front that was supposed to move through on October 19th. It doesn't look great right now, but enjoy temperatures at their coolest. Right now, we're at 68 degrees, 64 in New Braunfels, and 73 in Del Rio. Take a look at that. Dew points are a little uncomfortably high. It is definitely muggy outside right now, but later on today, the humidity will be coming down. So we're in the 60s right now. By midday, we'll be warm in the 80s. In the afternoon, 90s with, near 90 degrees with low humidity. So even though things are pretty similar day to day, we'll have cool mornings and hot afternoons, there's still a lot to talk about and a lot to be positive about. It's still pleasant outside with low humidity, meaning we'll have a dry heat in the afternoons. But again, that fall fail is the thing we're going to focus on. No cold air soon in San Antonio, and this could be our latest start to some cooler air in quite some time. I'll have those details coming up in a bit, but for now, let's go ahead and toss it to Ernie. Ernie?
Sarah, thank you very much. Well, in just a couple of hours, the Kerr County Commissioner's Court is planning to discuss long-term recovery after the Hill Country floods. So that includes updates on the Kerr Together Long-Term Recovery Group and the status of the Guadalupe River flood warning system. So that meeting is at 9 this morning. Later this afternoon, the Kerrville City Council is meeting for a workshop on more July 4th flood updates. That's set for 4 p.m. And we'll have coverage throughout the day, of course, on KSAT.com. Now, there is still a time for you to help out the Hill Country. October 18th is the Hope for Hunt benefit concert at Pure Country Barbecue and Grill in Bernie. That runs from 3 to 10 p.m. Now, the tickets for that are $80, but kids 12 and under get in for free. Headliners include Thompson Square, the J.R. Herrera Band, and more. For tickets and details, just go to KSAT.com and search Hope for Hunt.
All right, this morning, if you're taking a look at your screen right now, we are still waiting for an update on the condition of a woman rescued from the fire that you see right there that was on your screen. The video showing flames shooting through the windows of a home in Schertz. It happened on Friday when a woman who was trapped inside rescued by her neighbors. But people who live in the area say that they heard and felt an explosion just before they saw the fire started, many of which blame a gas leak.
I'm a journeyman plumber. I know what that smell is, and I knew it was a pretty big issue. But whenever I walked out on my front porch and it was very strong, I knew something was up.
That was Austin Stack that you just saw right there. He's a neighbor who told us he called CenterPoint Energy, and he said that they told him there was not a leak at his home and left after that. And we've reached out to CenterPoint, who sent us a statement that reads in part, the cause of the incident remains under investigation, and we will continue to support the investigating agencies. The woman who was rescued, again, sent to the hospital, but we're still waiting to hear how she's doing this morning.
Well, President Trump returned to Washington early this morning after joining world leaders in Egypt to sign a symbolic agreement aimed at bringing peace to the Middle East. He called the ceasefire a major step forward, but cautioned that the real challenge now is figuring out who will govern Gaza and how lasting the peace will be.
I'm not talking about single state or double state or two state. We're talking about the rebuilding of Gaza.
Now, experts warn that Hamas may not fully give up its weapons, even though it is allowed to keep some arms to act as a police force for a limited time. Now, with Israel and Hamas not signing the deal, many see it as more symbolic than definitive.
Time right now, 5:33. Well, the givers just aren't giving in this hard economy. Small community pantries are doubly feeling the impact. And while the number of people asking for help is going up, the number of people and organizations able to help them is falling.
Make sure and get to school age, from infant all the way up to school age. This is their play area.
Now, this is the Care Zone at Dwight Middle School on the south side. The nonprofit food pantry and donation center is run by Eagles Flight Advocacy and Outreach. The day we visited, the refrigerators where they store their meats and fruits and vegetables, they were all empty. Pamela Allen says they laid off 2 of their 5 employees because the funding just isn't coming in. Now, they depend on a separate for-profit business to keep the pantry stocked when donations are low.
I used to, some time ago, I used to be able to get paid while doing this. I have been my favorite volunteer for the past 16 months. I haven't drawn any income in the past 16 months because of how tight things have been.
And right now, they are begging city leaders and county commissioners for support because the federal government shutdown will mean even less money for them this week. They were just told that their grant payment will be delayed until the government reopens. Ernie?
Patty, thank you. The Pentagon is shifting billions of dollars from research funds to make sure that troops get paid during the government shutdown. A spokesperson said President Trump asked the defense secretary to use available money to pay service members starting October 15th. They found $8 billion in unused research and testing funds, and that cash will cover paychecks if the shutdown goes beyond Wednesday.
And the government shutdown affecting lots of national parks, but at Mount Rushmore in South Dakota, lights are still on. And that's thanks to the state's governor and lawmakers who are donating money to keep the monument lit. Republican Governor Larry Roden, along with Senators Helen Duhamel and Randy Dybert, are helping cover the cost. Roden says that this will keep the faces of Washington, Jefferson, Roosevelt, and Lincoln shining for weeks to come.
5:35 on your Tuesday morning. Let's give you a look at some of your morning headlines here. The Pentagon telling reporters this morning to sign new strict rules by today or potentially lose their press passes. Many news groups, including CNN, Reuters, and the New York Times, are refusing to sign, though. The Pentagon Press Association says that these rules gag employees and threaten reporters who are seeking unapproved info. Editors and reporters, though, say that they're going to keep covering the military with or without those credentials. And this morning, community leaders outside Chicago still waiting for the federal government to take down an 8-foot fence around an ICE facility. The village sued, saying that this fence blocks emergency responders and creates a safety risk. The government put up that fence to protect the building and workers from protests and attacks. A judge ordered for it to be removed, and residents are hoping that it comes down pretty soon. Okay, check this out. SpaceX Starship, the powerful launch rocket, just finished a successful hour-long test flight. Take a look at that video there. It's been a tough year for this prototype with several test mission challenges along the way. The rocket launched from Starbase in South Texas and flew for more than an hour before landing into the Indian Ocean. All right, pretty cool. Yes, and of course, Starbase is out there by South Padre Island down there in the RGV. Okay, let's give you an update on the situation right here. 151 traffic is starting to clear out a little bit after some overnight construction. So hopefully by the time we get to our 6 o'clock hour, all the westbound lanes of 151 should be good to go. There are reports of a stalled vehicle right here, 37 north at 35, right before you get to the Pearl. You see the Pearl off to the distance right there. Traffic is moving along there. Different situation on the northeast side of town where we are starting to see a buildup of traffic basically from O'Connor Road stretching all the way to Topperwine. So let's check in with Alex Gomez right now and see what we're looking like in terms of some delays out there for our drivers on the northeast side. Alex?
Yeah, well, it's very slow going southbound on I-35. Check this out. This is I-35 south at O'Connor Road. So far, I've been in this for 10 minutes. And when I passed the area on the northbound lanes, I did see crews packing up. They were breaking down those larger vehicles. So it shouldn't be like this all morning long, but I'll keep you updated, RJ.
Okay, thank you very much for that update, Alex, in DriveCam.
Alrighty, so even though we're calling it a fall fail, it doesn't mean San Antonio doesn't show up and show out. Take a look at the Lopez family. That giant Jack Skellington there. If it can't feel like fall, at least it looks like it out there. Coming up, we're going to talk about how temperatures pretty steady in the days ahead.
San Antonio's new Buckner Family Hope Center just opened, offering help for families, and we're going to tell you all about what you and your family now have access to.
And home energy tax credits end December 31st. If you've done upgrades this year, learn how to claim up to $3,200. Stay tuned for more.
And I just made my way through the northeast side using I-35 South, definitely the slowest part of the city. So I'll let you know how long it took me and where I'm headed to next after the
544 now. It's a top responsibility of Bexar County government, public safety for its residents. But KSAT Investigates found that 2.5 years after commissioners voted to study whether there are enough patrol deputies, the research has still not taken place. The elected leader who drove that request says he wants to know why.
We all want less crime, and we all want to be safe and secure in our homes and in our communities. And so that's a priority. That's something I've pushed for.
So later on the Night Beat, the association that represents Bexar County deputies weighs in and describes why it is such a critical issue. All right, morning consumer headlines for you right now. Amazon is hiring 250,000 workers for the holidays with full-time, part-time, and seasonal jobs across the U.S. Pay ranges from $19 to $23 an hour plus benefits. Amazon is investing over $1 billion to boost pay, making average compensation over $30 an hour. You can find jobs at amazon.com/local jobs.
And if you've been putting off some home improvements, now the time energy tax credits for upgrades like HVAC systems and installation expire December the 31st. Now you can claim up to $3,200, but you need to make sure that you've paid for and installed the work this year. Keep your receipts, and remember, of course, the credit can lower your tax bill, but not give you more than you owe.
OpenAI and Broadcom are teaming up in a multi-billion-dollar deal to create custom AI microchips and systems. They plan to roll out 10 gigawatts of AI chips over the next 4 years. That's enough power for a big city. OpenAI will design the systems while Broadcom handles development and deployment. This is OpenAI's first time making its own chips after working with Broadcom for over a year.
All right, San Antonio ranks as the 7th largest city in the U.S., but many residents still face that financial struggle. But we got a new resource here to offer additional support. And we're talking about the Buckner Family Home Center. Opened its doors yesterday, and Buckner International created it. It's a child and family-focused center where families can access counseling, after-school programs, English classes, and family coaching.
While we can help them with their immediate needs, food and water, we want to go deeper than that. We want to engage families to help them and find out what do they need to get out of the situation that they're in and how can we help that.
So the Hope Center, located at 1711 Columbia Square, near Loop 410 and Marbach Road. And again, that's on the west side. Obviously, a great resource to have in the community. I know we spoke with a woman who directly was impacted by these resources. You're going to hear a little bit about her later on. But yeah, no, she was saying basically how this is a program that changed her life.
That's very good.
Mm-hmm. Guys, I've been looking at the data, and the coolest we've been so far this year for the season is only 63 degrees. So that's that's not necessarily cool. Here's a look at your screen. Again, the coolest we've been so far this season in the morning, 63 on September 27th, and again, just a couple of days ago. That is pretty odd because usually by now we have seen our first morning at or below 60. So we've usually seen our first morning in the 50s. On average, that happens September 26th. So we're well past that, and the latest it's ever happened for the first time is October 19th. This is over the last 30 years. Well, October 19th is right around the corner, and take a look at morning lows. October 19th is Sunday. I do not think we're going to get into the 50s for quite some time here. So Technically, this year is the slowest start to mornings in the 50s when it comes to the fall months. So again, it's not just in your head. We are starting off this fall very warm. Our average low is usually right around 62 this time of year. So again, we are going to continue with our warm hot-tober, as we're calling it, because of a heat high right overhead. This is keeping things dry, keeping things warm, preventing the cool air from the north from getting to Texas. There is a low pressure system that's bringing some rain to parts of California, even snow in parts of the mountains out there. That low is going to be pulling cooler Pacific air across the nation. But unlike what we were thinking a few days ago, this front that moves through is going to be pretty weak. It is, again, not really going to be bringing us much relief from the heat. Instead, what we'll see is a very small chance for a stray shower or storm on Sunday and drier air moving in. So we are going to have lower humidity behind this front. It's more of a Pacific cool front than it is a cold Canadian Arctic front. So because of that, when we look at the high temperatures and the lows over the next several days, very similar day to day. Mornings right near 65, afternoons right near 90. Those cool mornings will be the coolest right around sunrise, 7:35 in the morning, and we'll have warm afternoons but with low humidity, and then again no significant changes from that front that will be arriving on Sunday. It's going to be a pretty weak front. Take a look at temperatures across the nation. Here in San Antonio, we're at 68. That cold air is to the north, but again, with that high pressure system overhead, that cool air is going to stay to the north and will be mostly sunny today with temperatures rising quickly. By 10, it'll be 76. By noon, 82, and in the afternoon, 90 for the high, but with low humidity. All right, look at that 7-day forecast. Again, not much difference day to day, mid-60s in the mornings, afternoons near 90, only a small 20% chance for a stray shower on Sunday with that front. All right, RJ, you know, kids are going back to school today, so I'm expecting the roads to be a little bit busier than they were yesterday.
Absolutely, yes, Sarah. So let's take a look right here at your traffic authority, and fortunately right now not too busy out there, but as you just mentioned, we're also going to get a lot of folks going back to work this morning as well. So we'll continue to keep an eye on things as we get all of our school buses going and ready to go here on your Tuesday morning. But we do have a pretty good slowdown right here. This is going to be 410 north past FM 78, basically Old Seguin Road, going towards the 410-35 interchange, and that's an interesting view. Had not seen that view there of just the amount of construction that we're seeing on the east and northeast sides of town. So looking at about a 10-minute delay right there for all of our folks making their way northbound on 410 on the east side of town. How about this? We are in the process of clearing this out. This is going to be 37, our northbound traffic, right before 37 becomes 281 at the 35 interchange, so we are good to go on that part of the downtown area. And clearing things out here for all of our drivers, 151 westbound traffic headed over past SeaWorld over to 1604. It looks like for the most part they are kind of working their way from parts of Potranco all the way up the road to Westover Hills and Wiseman. So hopefully we get that cleared out fully by the time we get to our 6 o'clock hour. Okay, let's check in with Alex. He's been stuck in some traffic on the northeast side of town and drive cam for us, and it looks like he's stuck in the middle of it. Alex?
Yeah, good morning, RJ. So the slowdown on the east side is going to be because of a crash. 410 northbound right at Space Center Drive. We do have a backup now all the way down to W.W. White Road, and first responders are still making the scene. But if I zoom in on the camera, it does look like we do have some vehicles put over to the side on 410 northbound. So this is what's happening. I'm going to get closer to the scene to see what exactly is going on up there, RJ.
Okay, my guy Alex Gomes on the spot there for our drivers on the east side of town on 410. Thank you very much, sir.
All right, it is 5:52 right now, 68 degrees outside.
Okay, we don't know about you, but we here at GMSA, we are celebrating a very sweet day today. How you can join in on the festivities coming up. All right, it's no ordinary Tuesday. It's not even a Taco Tuesday. It's a day to celebrate your sweet tooth because it's National Dessert Day. The options are endless, of course, from brownies to ice cream, dairy concoctions, cookies, cakes, pies, so many options. For many people, a dessert is the perfect complement to top off a meal, but it's also an ideal indulgence that you can treat yourself with anytime. Tuesday's the day to stop by your local bakery or restaurant for a treat, or if you have extra time, maybe you could whip one up at your own home.
All right, quick. What's your favorite treat?
Cookie. Pie, cream pies.
Okay, there you go.
Coconut cream pie.
Swifties, I need you to listen up right now. Taylor Swift keeping the Eras Tour vibes alive with a 6-part docuseries dropping on Disney Plus and Hulu December the 12th. First 2 episodes give fans a behind-the-scenes look at her sold-out shows from March to December last year. Plus, on the same day, Swifties can get a full concert film from her final tour show in Vancouver, including the entire set from her Tortured Poets Department album. See, I told you, businesswoman to her core. Come on.
$100 billion.
Right, exactly. Okay, guys, we're looking at 5:56 right now, 68 degrees outside.
All right, look outside as we go to break on this Tuesday. Patty. Well, Patty's, I think, checking out the refrigerator. We'll find out what she's up to. But also, Drive Cam, Alex Gomez at a scene right now. More coming up at the top of the hour, so don't go away.